What would happen if the metric of success becomes more about the connection to yourself, connection to your inner voice, the expression of who you are? Welcome to Satori Mindset Podcast. My name is Yuki Yoshii, and this is your time, your moment to reflect on yourself, your life, and to integrate your journey to feel aligned, and to ultimately make the awakened version of you a default mode. So let's begin. So I want to talk about being an artist. And I feel like I have always been an artist. I was raised by two artists, and I know a lot about being an artist, not by learning about it, but by being it. And I just kind of wanted to search Google. I didn't use ChatGPT. What art means, right? Because there are different ways to define that. A simple definition is an expression of an idea and the emotions through a physical medium. I mean, people have some product or project, I think of singers. I have once been a dancer, right? So there is a creation and expression and voice. There's a message underneath symbolically based on the value that you have, based on the belief that you have, based on actually what you want to see in the world. So it's almost like the urge of the voice wants to express is in all of us. And I truly feel that each and every one of us is an artist. And fundamentally, each and every one of us is an artist. And our lives is the canvas to paint the art's voice expression that you want to share to the world. And the reason that I wanted to talk about that today is because I feel that the world is sort of moving away from that. Means that, I mean, when I look at the entertainment industry and I look at things like America's Got Talent, right? Places that artists congregate, that is the main thing. And what I love about the field of artists is that they don't know how to compete to one another because it's not about that. You cannot really compare because it's uniquely, each art is uniquely different, right? And that's what I love about, and that's what I wanted to really talk about today because the world in the commerce and the marketing and different businesses are operating not from the artistic standpoint, but from almost the reverse, right? What people want. And I mean, you can give what people want, so it's gonna serve them. And then also, most business operate on looking at success as the financial profit, right? But I don't know many business are looking at success from the creative expression of who they are. Does that make sense? So then what end up happening is that let's say companies or businesses are a collection of people. If you remove people, there's no company, right? There's no culture, there's no creation, there's no idea. So the way that I look at it is each individual is an artist, and if company is a collection of people, a group of people, it's a collection of artists that's coming together, teaming up to collaborate to create the arts. Yeah. So for me, it's really important to start from the inside instead of starting from the outside. Because if you start from the outside and begin creating what we think, based on the market research, what the world wants, then, let's say if that goes well and people start purchasing and buying, that's fantastic. Yeah. But then that's fantastic because the measurement of the success, the metrics of success is based on the financial profit. But What would happen if the metric of success becomes more around, it is, less measurable because it's subjective experience, right? About the connection to yourself, connection to your inner voice, the expression of who you are. And I really want to emphasize that because I don't think this is being implemented and applied in most businesses. In most businesses, measure their success based on the financial, of course, right, profit, but then they're stressed out, right? How about that? They're tired of pursuing the next goal because they're not starting from within. And imagine that you live your life based on that metrics, the measurement of success. And it might appear from the outside that you are so successful because you're gaining a lot of financial gain. But what's invisible, and then of course, though, when you have a success, you start highlighting that. But then you might not be actually expressing how exactly you're here to share your voice from inside out. And then my question is that really a success, right? Let's look at singers. Let's look at Celine Dion, right? I do not think that she sings based on what she thinks the audience or people or the world wants her to sing. Does that make sense? She sings from within. Her expression comes from within, not from without. How about Michael Jackson, right? Did he create that expression and that arts based on what the world wanted him to sing and perform? No, that was created from inside. Yeah. Who else? Lady Gaga, right? I mean, there might be some marketing stuff and some production stuff, right? But the actual essence of who she is was created from inside of her. So the point of this conversation is, okay, can we shed a light on the essence of what this life is all about, right? We are inherently an artist, right? Each one of us is an artist. And I feel that this voice of needing to start from within needs to be shared, which is the reason that I'm creating this video. And I don't know who is watching, right? You might have a business, you might have different things that's going on, but my invitation is to begin going inside. And all the marketers and all the people who are financially successful probably will tell you the opposite. But they're successful based on their metrics and the measurement. Yeah. And what if that person who is successful financially actually had a completely different way of sharing and expressing their arts that has been dismissing, that actually is here to fulfill, to tapping into that voice? And I feel that's where we want to begin because you cannot not be yourself and feel whole, right? Because that's what we're here to do. So my invitation is to start with this idea that you and I, and we are all artists in our life, whatever that you're focusing on. It could be your business, it could be your hobby, it could be your relationship, it could be your family. That life consequence is our canvas. And how do we want to show up as an artist? What is my voice? What is my message to the world? What is my value? And what matters to me the most that I want to polish and cultivate and share to the world? That is true success because now you're here to do what you're called to do. You and I were called to demonstrate something. And then you are sharing to the world, and the monetary return will come to you because you're in full alignment with what you're here to do. Yeah. So the invitation is to begin inside out, to begin creating your expression based on what you feel inside, not what you think people want in the outside. And when you start doing that, it's really important to not to get caught into others' opinions of what we should do, how we should do based on the matrix that they're relying on. Because if you are into the spiritual dimension, if you are into the soul purpose stuff, the matrix needs to be starting coming from within. And when you fulfill that, your outside will reflect that. And that is true success, fulfillment inside and demonstrating that in the outside. If you have any question, if you have any clarification, or if you don't really need to agree with anything that I said, I'm just here to share my point of view. And I would love to hear your point of view, what you think about this, because this is something that's coming up to me newly that I'm cultivating, that I really want to begin sharing more of this to the world, because I think when we tap into the power within us, nothing can stop us. And that's what we are here to do. Thank you for listening to the podcast. A message I want you to take with you is this: you have a power to choose how you see yourself and the world at any given moment. So stay connected to that wisdom.